Let me know. Type something when. Can you hear me, or can you see the stream? So far, I'm on 0 dropped frames. So hopefully it stays like that. Alright, Limiter. Thanks for letting me know. Alright, so this was another pathing that he could have done to try to punish the Kayn a little bit, right? Um, though the only other option that's kind of obvious is to go gank. Mid lane doesn't look extremely gankable. Although it looks pretty gankable for a Kayn, so if he feels like the Kayn is going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, then he could try to do a path that leads him into intercepting this, right? So, for example, let me delete this. For example, he could go to Crab because he knows that he's at red buff, and by the time that the red buff's done, he can come over here and wait for this gank, so he can counter gank it if he feels like he wins the counter gank. And then if Kayn doesn't show, he can go do this after a certain number of time. Because if Kayn backs here, it takes him 8 seconds to back and around 20 something seconds to walk over here. So he has some leeway. He could wait. He can wait like 5, 6 seconds because it's not going to take him 20 seconds to kill the one big raptor, right? So he could wait here for a while, and if he can, what's it called, like break down that, oh, the Kayn is at the bats, I'm doing my other camp, then he can invade very safely and take this, and then maybe even ward this, and then run over to his raptor or his Krugs, unless of course he feels like Kayn's gonna run that way. But even if he runs this way, Kha'Zix has the ability to jump over this wall and then hit the blasting plant. So it's not even that big of a deal. Because it's not like Kayn has some like crazy, oh, I'm going to CC you and kill you one shot, right? So I feel like there was a pathing for Kha'Zix here that made a lot of sense and had a lot of upside to it without very much negative things that could have happened. What do you guys think? So I'll draw it one more time. So he did not the full camp. So he did like that part of the camp. He did this complete camp. 3. Kha'Zix did 1, 2, 3, and then I wish I could make it like different color lines. That'd be cool. So what I'm thinking is they do this. And then this is where he invades. And then after he invades, he wards this. And then he runs down here. It would be so much nicer if I can draw this in different, like a different color line. Last time what I did was I made one side X's and the other side O's. Maybe I should do that here. So X, 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 and then he would take this part, he would take the big one, and then he'd go down here. Oh. I actually clicked that link. I thought that was going to be like some kind of drawing on your screen program, which I think I have. Anyway, the point is, I think that the Kha'Zix had an opportunity to actually punish what Kayn did, but he didn't take it. He instead took the very safe route of just avoiding the Kayn in its entirety, which allowed the Contrast to do literally everything. Contrast ended up doing literally everything. There's no reason that he should be able to do the whole map, or the 3/4 of the map. There's no reason this should happen. If, at least in my opinion, Obviously, there could be something I'm missing, but I just feel like this could have very easily been the path that Kha'Zix did, and that means whenever Contracts ran back into his jungle on the bot side, this would have been gone. Not only would it have been gone, but his team would have had a ward here to know that he's here. And then if Contracts ran, obviously if Contracts runs down here, they can expect that he's going to do a gank, or he would run into the Scuttle Crab. Or if he runs down here, these are gone as well. So it seemed pretty good in all scenarios. I feel like it should have been like Contract is mainly this side. Might Young is mainly this side, but they went with very defensive pathing. I know I'm like really stuck on the early game here, but the early game jungling in pro play is what I'm mainly interested in, honestly. Like late game team fights and early game pathing. The junglers play a huge role in like the tempo and the pressure that's gonna be applied onto the map. So I pay attention a lot to what the junglers are doing in the professional play right in the beginning. So here he is running to his Gromp as opposed to doing the play I was saying. So he could have had Scuttle Crab here. Now he could have been running into dumb replay. Wow, I went back way too far. Oh no, what happened was during the replay, he got the Scuttle Crab and he just straight up backed. Oh, you can see that Contracts or somebody actually what's it called? Question mark pings their Krugs, because they might be expecting same thing I was expecting. Like, Kha'Zix runs over this wall, like jumps over it, hits the blasting plant, does Krugs. However, Mike Young just backs after doing the crab and runs to the top side, which is kind of weird because unless he walked through a ward. I feel like the replay made me miss something. Okay, so it looks to me like Mike Young ran to his red buff like completely blind. Like he didn't know whether his red buff was actually up. It could have very easily have not been there. So now Kha'Zix has almost literally nothing to do. He waits until the first spawn of the second spawn of the Raptors to come up, which was around 4 minutes and 31 seconds in this example. And then he has to run around all the way around here. So you guys that have watched me like break down pathing, we always talk about like how far do you end up running to get your gold, and that's kind of how I decide how well you're doing your pathing. This is Kha'Zix, what he's done. He's done 1, run over here, 2, here, 3, 4, 5. But then he spent 8 seconds backing, ran all the way over here, got 6, and then ran over here, showed himself, ran up, ran back down, finally did this spawn again, so that's the second time. Probably not good to put another X, so I'll put a X inside of this. So he did it a second time, and now he's running all the way over here. So there's so much running involved with Kha'Zix's path in this game. Running without gold, like, and that's kind of what you put yourself in. Whereas, so you see these giant lines of him like not actually gaining gold, right? Whereas Contrast did gold, ran across the map, which happens all the time unless you stay on the same side of the map. 1, 2, 3. So going across the map, it gets even. So it's even right here. However, Karchik gets first blood in this example, so he gets a ton of gold. He gets gold immediately here. And then, I'm not sure if he did the Scuttle Crab first, but he ran back to get gold. So he had to run, he had to do a little bit of run here, a little bit of a run here. Unless he did the crab, then it's like completely fine. So he ended up getting gold like consistently, whereas Kha'Zix had to run around a lot. Why did he start Raptors only to go to blue? So I was asking myself the same question. But I'm going to assume. Man, my nose is so stuffed up. I'm going to assume Phoenix One had a good idea of how quickly K was going to be able to clear his jungle. Even though their top laner died to it. But if Kha'Zix did this and then this, and Kayn did 1, 2, 3, Kha'Zix pretty much has to run down and avoid the Kayn, which would have been like okay. But then Kayn gets to run wild, so it's almost the same thing. Except that Kha'Zix's path afterwards could have been better with the regeneration of red buff, and he wouldn't have had to have the back and run back to top. So it probably would have been better, but maybe. So what I was thinking was, the reason he did it was with this in mind. He was gonna do this, this, and then run over towards red, because Kayn was able to do these 3 camps in 2 minutes and 24 seconds, which is extremely fast. So he doesn't want to fight Kayn in this area where Kayn's level 3 and he's level 2. So if he does 1, 2, 3 and then run over towards red buff, it'll be level 3 versus level 3, and Kha'Zix is normally better than Kayn level 3 versus level 3, right? So I figured this was his idea, but because their top laner died, he felt like unsafe running over towards red, where Kayn could have just been waiting for him at this point, right? And their top laner could have roamed over or something, right? So he had to switch his plan up to pathing on the bottom side. I think that was his plan, though. That's what it looks like to me. It just, he couldn't do that plan anymore because his top laner died. So that's why it looks to me as if the jungler understood what was going on, but their top lane didn't respect how quickly the Kayn was going to be up there. The top laner didn't even flash in this scenario. That's what I'm assuming. So Contract runs back up top, which is very standard because he just cleared his whole jungle starting from top to bottom. So it's very likely that he's gonna run back up top so that when these respawn, he's on the same side of the map, right? Oh wow, he lived. So this is the second time the Kha'Zix is backing. The Kha'Zix did red buff, run. Wolves then Gromp back. So pretty much seems pretty out jungled to me so far. Contrast's pathing has worked out exactly as he would want it to, I believe. And now he gets to go back into his clear. Kha'Zix runs top, but guess what? This camp isn't here anymore, buddy. Go back to running around. And obviously, like, just like I was talking about, I think yesterday, invading's more than just taking their camps. It's getting their vision, right? It's being able to predict where he's going to be because you know what camps he has and what camps he doesn't have. And obviously, dropping awards gives you all that additional information. 1 second. I get really hot when I'm streaming because I turn off the fan so you guys don't hear it. I'm going to put my hair being out like this, just making it hotter. So I'm going to tie my hair. Alright. So Contrast's pathing has been very good, and Mike Young's adjustment has not been very good. I'm waiting for the plays, another play between Kayn and either Bard or Maokai to happen again. The Cho'Gath has built magic resist so far, so the damage coming from Contrast would be pretty good. But currently he's pathing in a way so that he denies Mike Young that many options. He's not pathing in a way to help his laner specifically. Here's the invade. Mike Young recognized this one and he adjusts this time. And he goes and does contracts is blue buff. That's good. Now Kazu doesn't have that much to do. I guess he can run all the way back up to here, or he can risk this fight. All right. Well, he risked it. Let's see what happens. Okay, Kane just gives it up. So you guys see me do it on Elise. Clegg can do it. Maokai can do it. And Kane can also do it. And this is very important in competitive. And that's tower diving. Because they have the ability to drop aggro from themselves, they can start the tower dive, tank, and then drop the tower aggro so it goes to somebody else. And that kind of quality in the champion allows for very aggressive plays that you want to be able to make in competitive, because you want to push any advantage that you have. And that's basically what you got to see right there from Kane. I'm looking at how Orianna dies here. Orianna knows. Yeah, doesn't Ori see that? Yeah, doesn't Ori see that Kha'Zix is going to run to the top side of the map? Okay, he has a pretty good reason to believe that Kha'Zix is on the top side of the map, because he has a ward here. Or I made this bigger. A ward here, and he has that ward. And obviously, if Kha'Zix ran this way after doing that, he would see it there. And if Kha'Zix ran this way, he would see it there. So he either has to believe that Kha'Zix has backed, or that he's run up to like his red buff. In this case, the Kha'Zix runs directly into the mid lane. So kind of just disrespected the gank potential from the Kha'Zix, or just didn't realize it was gonna happen. But that kind of really shouldn't happen if he's being really aware. Because if he was being really aware that he might get ganked right there, he would have been hugging bottom side even more. And that way his flash would have been downwards. And maybe he gets away there. But I can tell that, you can just tell by the positioning that he has in lane. Like he's not hugging the bottom side knowing that Kha'Zix is right here. So I think he's really focused on trying to kill Pyrion instead of keeping track of Kha'Zix. Obviously, it's very good by P1 to have a pink ward here too. It's not just C9's failures, obviously. Alright, pretty soon here, the actual jungle path focus isn't going to work very well. Because it's going to be much less about jungle pathing very soon and more about tower objective taking. Here comes the pick potential from... So there's that pick potential from the Bard, right? That we talked about before in Champ Select. So they're going to use this kill to get the dragon, it seems. They have a lot of pressure bottom, they have pressure top, and they have pressure at dragon. So, pretty good. A very good traps from Sneaky. He traps both Jhin and Talia. Lol. I wasn't watching the map. What happened here? Why does he die here? Oh, the replay might cook me. Yeah, okay. The replay kind of goes over the setup that they made for this play. This again is like one of those things where they should have a pretty good idea. Like, Kods is on the bot side of the map, so you already know you're in a 1v2, and you know that enemy jungler's on your side of the map, and you know that your jungler is not here to protect you. Now, he doesn't have He doesn't have a great options. Impact, that is, because obviously his only other option is to just kind of let them take the tower. But like, this kind of play isn't really that surprising. It happens all the time in competitive that if someone's making a play top, the enemy team's making a play on the bottom side. So you have to predict that. Kazu has actually ended up now 3-0. They attempt to get that pick again. There it goes. Good job from Bard. Ooh, close. Alright, I'm gonna start skipping ahead. I'm interested to see, like, I don't want to go over literally everything.